So it's all getting pretty crazy out there, man. I'd be very interested to see Existence in top flight CS again.
When is Zywoo free?
Well, he's still doing his studies for the time being, so I don't have an answer to that question. Astralis will be starting on the CT side of Train. 3 people around the IV position. They have smoke and a kit on device. And Envy have 2 smokes and 2 flashbangs. Dupree, they're looking for that early information. And his presence, if he just doesn't die going for fights there, will be a problem. And that might slow Envy down, which can allow for a larger rotation. Zipex moving to the back of B. So they're going to play some kind of retake with some peppering from some USPs. Magic's boy there slowly moving into connector. And here come Envy.
Yeah, the guaranteed plant, which is great. Now it's just about hitting some headshots, but the plant is down, so you don't have to worry too much about the outcome at this point if you're on the T side. For Astralis, on the other hand, they do really need to make sure they get that good start, and they've managed to sort of formulate a line outside of the choke point now to start pressing down the yard to remove it of any terrorists. Okay, very annoying. Nice block work from him. Still posing a massive threat, just sitting underneath this train. Eventually does go down, but lots of time has been killed, but Zipex is cleaning everything up. He is the removal man. He is Mr. Wolf.
The custodian.
Has he got time, though?
Wow.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So
oh my god.
I think that's one of the closest
I don't know if I've
seen.
Do you normally hear the ringing if you...
I have not heard the did before. I mean...
But I've seen like the... I think we've seen like the last tick diffuses, but I still haven't heard the ringing.
I've not heard the beeps before. Some people might have let go of that, you know?
That's unbelievable.
That was crazy, man. Anyway. Astralis off to a good start. They win the pistol round, but will they survive the force buy of Envy? That is the question. 4 CZ75s, and Haji has a Mac 10 with armor, but no helmet. No helmet for RBK either. And it seems it is going to be Operation Human Shield towards the B bomb site. Envy players strapped to the side of the tank. But will the tank get the entries?
So Astralis do have fast rotation positions with Dupree popped on Pop Dog. And here he goes. Is very fast to the flank as Dupree. Be right up behind him with that MP9 soon enough as the bomb attempts to be planted, but here he is, Dupree running through the smoke. That's one down, one after another. Very systematic, methodical, and then dead, I guess. Didn't expect that. Thought Dupree be okay, but he did stop the plant from happening. So it's eventually going to go down. So Envyus actually doing some good damage, getting that bomb planted. Good result.
I feel like it was winnable when Happy was still alive. His position is a common position, and it seemed that he was spotted, but it's still a dangerous position. However, he was unable to get anything done with his CZ, so Astralis will prevail with 3 players surviving.
Did you notice James' device went armor USP?
I did not know. I was just staring at the Envy side of things.
But Envy did the weird thing, and they bought after getting the plant down.
Yep.
So they armored up.
Yeah, I mean, it will happen on occasion, but I think more often than not, for the long game, it is worth it. However, we see that, I guess Device did not survive that round, which means that he won't be on the AWP straight away. But then again, because of that force buy, Envy are on the eco, so there's still time to freeze on a UMP, so perhaps he will drop something. We'll have to wait and see. Early aggression around IV, but not an overcommitment. It's always fun to watch Glaive on the CT side. He's always up to interesting things. Nice to see. I mean, he's very much has his own identity on the server, not just in this team, but I think in CS in general. So it's pretty cool to watch him and see his decision making and risk taking where necessary, where he feels necessary anyway.
Yeah, it was just like how Automatic said that he likes watching IGL's demos, because even though they typically don't have as much individual skill as their teammates, which I think Glaive is a huge exception, by the way, but we all know that. I think that you know that with an IGL they're way more studied than most of their teammates normally, and so you find more interesting plays when watching them play.
Yeah, and again, many IGLs will focus on enabling their plays, and that's always really telling as well. So far, this is working out quite nicely for Envy. Damage is most certainly being done, and real estate has been compromised. They're squatting in CT buildings. but can the CTs get them out? They've got the man advantage once again. However, Kiyoshima's got an M4A4. Not for too long though, and the bomb's been lost, and that significantly changes things in this 1 versus 2 for RPK.
Yeah, his health is unfortunately very low. And my god, how do you win that? He's got 1 HP after that fight. How do you win that though? Long range UMP. Unbelievable.
Ooh, after time.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal. His money is not going to be as
That's not too bad.
spectacular as he would have liked, but it is still workable. He can still get an AK armor, so that's fine. No nades to him though, except a singular flashbang. So Envyus, I wonder if we'll just see like a straight up outside set piece from them now. Device on the AWP. It's been pretty solid lately. Indeed, we may get Envyus pressuring that outside bomb side at some point. It may take some time. We can see 2 players towards Ivy. And oh, with a double drop, not working out. Dupree holding it down really nicely done. He has received 0 points of damage in the effort as well. And I was just about to credit Envyus's slow default. Taking Ivy, pressuring that back is really important if you want to split the outside. Obviously, you can just go blind with grenades. Oh.
Wow. That damage definitely counts for something. Oh my gosh, that's just a straight up kill. It's insane because you almost never see a ladder interaction where the CT, if he commits to killing, that he gets away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 or 0, kind of.
And Envyus reclaiming position in Pop Dog. But Astralis can safely leave it alone now, as we have seen their setup adjust, just due to the fact that they have the 5 versus 3. You don't have to play the riskier positions, you already have the numbers. You don't even have to, like we can see they're playing a 2-3 setup as well. So they're pretty safe on B, they're pretty safe on A. They can get information if they need it. They're playing some off angles as well. Astralis are in a really, really solid position, and Astralis are one of the better teams to watch. If you want to understand in Counter-Strike, how do you play the advantage? How do you play a 5v4 on the CT side of Train? How do you play a 5v3 or a 5v2, you know, and so on? You have to, it's like you have to, I can't impress upon people enough that you have to understand how to leverage your advantage correctly. Otherwise, like, why bother even like getting an advantage?
Yeah, you have so much in common with most bad teams, basically.
Yeah.
People always said SK were the best at winning their 5v4s, or making sure they didn't lose, and they always had setups for when they were up a man and knew what map control they could give up while still watching everything. And it's very important to talk about those protocols. You should really have... I don't believe in being too strict where you're controlling everybody's footsteps. That was one of my main problems with Existence and how he called. But I definitely think that you should have talked about protocols so that everybody knows what's being watched and what adjustments you make, whether you're up or down a man.
Definitely. He's going fast here towards the inner halls and will force the CTs back for the time being, but I don't think that's really much of a loss for them.
It looks like Device is going to rotate his position entirely to a different part of the map. Keep them guessing as to where the AWP is. With his presence towards B, they may feel off the ladder. Not quite happening for him, but yeah, they may feel more confident to shoulder peek elsewhere, but now they have no idea where Device is going to turn up next. That would be such an easy idea to deal with.
Maybe they'll walk upper now because this is what Lawrence talks about before. Like if you know the AWP is not on B anymore, walking upper becomes a strong option.
Yeah, there was a real possibility they were about to pull that off. I think he didn't want to... I don't know why he didn't want to commit to that, especially in a situation where they don't have a lot to work with. All those small opportunities, I mean, I feel like you jump on them.
So that's Device from B to looking at main and then middle of A to the back of Ivy. Where will he be next? Very difficult for NV to deal with this, especially with limited utility at this point. And the only utility on one of their 2 AKing players. But Screen picks good timing, and there goes Device. Now, can they get the bomb down? They've got 18 seconds with which to do it. They're lining up for Glaive, but he can't spray them all down. Now, they've got the site cut in half, but there is one player on the site. I think he made some footsteps. Scream finally realised, bombs on the floor now, 1 versus 2. 6 seconds, no need to face. Got to plant back bomb train. But there is somebody coming in from the back. No plants for Envy. Round number 5 for Astralis. However, look at the damage that Envy managed to do.
Astralis is just playing very intelligently right now. I feel like generally we're seeing just smart, like as you mentioned previously, James, like the way the device is moving around. The plays that his teammates are making, it's just intelligent, tight Counter-Strike right now. It's very hard for Envy. Like, you can't beat a team like the way Astralis is playing right now, you can't beat them with just aim alone. You have to play smart yourself, and they'll go fast.
Oh, that was almost so dirty.
Almost getting the double. Dupree, though, shut down after the 1. However, Envyus have lost numbers. 1 for 2 here for Astralis so far, so they'll be enjoying that as the rotation starts to come in. Looking to hold the ground around the bomb train, but it looks difficult.
Wow.
Again, these kills through smokes. Happy cannot plant. He has not even got the bomb.
Man, you can see that spray transfer was so deliberate. I mean, he had pulled his crosshair all the way down onto the floor, knowing exactly where his bullets were going to go. It was pretty beautiful, even though it was just through the smoke. Happy might pull this flank off, though. It doesn't seem like he realized somebody passed by him, just like ships in the night.
Seems they know that Happy's tagged. Device with a pistol out. Maybe it was Happy Device who legged him. Oh,
almost.
Glaive to do the damage, but Device to finish him off. Another expensive round, but where's the money? So Envy can try to keep pressuring the Astralis economy. Getting closer. But getting closer is not enough. They have 0 rounds on the board. They've got to do better than that. Again, another round where they're compelled to buy, but they will be ill-equipped. This time Scream wins the duel. What is going on there? We're not expecting a second player so quickly.
That whole meta between these two teams around Pop Dog now is becoming quite interesting because, well, we'll come to that point later perhaps, as we do still have Envyus trying to plant on the B side here. Happy is alone. He's going to have to hit some incredible shots to make this one actually work out for his team, and he'll be surrounded and taken down by Zipex, who's been quite monstrous so far. He's transformed into some sort of a beast. He is no longer human. Kiyashima will try to work the sneaky plays through connector, but Astralis can likely deduce where he is. But yeah, I feel like Dupree has been playing incredibly well around the Pop Dog position, and generally speaking, we've seen that Envyus, they haven't, have they double Molotov'd it yet? I think they've just been doing the double drop.
Yes.
I don't think they've been actually double Molotoving it and so on. So they may have to consider a different approach into how they manage that, or they may consider trying to play fast alley. So we have like 2 CTs who are deep on the train yard, so if you go fast alley, you're going to be able to trade up against like 1 player most of the time, so it could be an option.
It actually looks like they're taking whoever's just their best ladder spawn, because last round was Magisk and not Dupree, but the 2 rounds before that was Dupree, so, and Envy as well, they're fast dropping based on their spawns. So here's Magisk again.
Ooh, Dupree's been picked off from the main position. Magic's boy slightly deeper. This time it doesn't work out so well for Astralis. They've got all the wrong angles. Too many players swarming the A site, but maybe Glaive can hold things down. And again, the swarm continues, but Zipex expecting he might plant with that smoke on Pop Dog.
Whoa.
Getting out there really damn quickly. Brave enough to pull the grenade out, but he can't quite do it all. First round on the board for Envy. And there are questions now as to the money situation on Astralis, and there is the answer, but they'll force it up.
I wonder if we'll see Device going with somebody like for a deep alley push or something like that, or if we'll see any kind of shenanigans from Astralis. Obviously we can see that they don't have the best weaponry, so Magisk can be a first man in type scenario if they choose to do so, and perhaps he'll do so with Zipex, it seems, on the inner halls. You can see Zipex ready with the HE and Magisk with the CZ going close. Scream will be the first person to spot this. Oh, that is very clinical from Scream. Absolute precision. And he's got the B bomb site for the team now, and Astralis may be in a very weird predicament. Like, How do they handle this? The bomb is actually around Ali, so it may never even get to be.
I think they just need to play this out slowly, just just in case somebody peeks something. They have full inner control. They can hold for rotates, just really juice that. Oh, that's taking advantage of the fact that Glaive's coming around wide, and their Ivy guys are actually working their way back. I feel like this is much safer than continuing up alley, but Device, he's gonna see him.
That's so huge, that information. Dupree's position could not be more perfect. And you can see Hadji was even sort of looking for him, but it's such a... I mean, that off angle is disgusting.
That whole area is an off angle.
Yeah. Radios, deck chairs. All kinds of junk going on there.
All that's missing is a pool table.
Rotary phones.
The CTs move up to secure the bomb. 25 seconds, and this will need to be a win by elimination. Scream moving forward towards the showers. Sound cue's being given away, and he is being teased. Arcade dispatched of the 180, and now it is the chase. 10 seconds, he's around the corner. This is getting ridiculous.
He's gonna keep going to get to the back of the train. Oh.
2, 1.
Oh!
You respect the attempt. What a difficult situation. What a horrible way to be reset. They have reasonable money though. Hadji could drop 2 AKs and just go over pistol.
I guess luckily for him at that point that he died before time. That's really sad that that happened, because they had the inner take, they had all of the site, and they were about to go with the split but decided to go with a safer option, which ended up being unsafe because, well, I guess it's because Astralis were smart enough to go look for information.
A fast round from Envyus in the outside area. Hadji, one of the few people with an AK, is very low now though. So their chances start to dwindle. They've not really claimed much space for the cost of the utility and the life of Hadji, and they'll now move forwards with the bulk of their players through the alley position into more engagements. But it's going to be tough. It's a good start though. People are working out, and a CZ too. So there is a chance after all. They've claimed the man advantage. And the bomb can be planted.
Or can it? Well, maybe it can. Connector is where Glaive is. He's got his teammate Zipex moving in around the back. The pop flash is there, but there's too much train to blind these players, and Zipex is ill-equipped for the task at hand, and maybe it's time for the comeback from Envy. They've put Astralis in eco territory.
Wow. There's some big whiffs outside.
Yeah. Yeah, like 2 or 3 at least, right? Just really big whiffs. Again, it's like one of the right rounds to win because Astralis' money was so wonky. So now it's... That said, they have got the CZ buy, and the CZs are really strong. Outside, on CT side of this map, I think the CZ buy up is really, really strong. Just because of the way the trains work, like how you can take jewels and 1v1s around the trains, and with the movement speed, it's pretty damn effective. You know what you're doing. RPK getting dinked immediately though. Then he does get the kill. And Astralis really need to be cautious, not to overextend, because Envyus have to come to them eventually. And you can definitely see that Envyus are a bit shy at the moment, a bit tentative, but it's going to work out because Astralis know that they can't push, but what they can do is rotate. And so that's how they've read the situation. And they are in a spot where if they lose this round, that's okay because they can actually try to save, because they can't buy next round anyway. So they can try to save these CZs. That would be a legitimate play. Steal some AKs on the exits would also work out very well for them.
30-second mark. Happy needs to hold down this position while the bomb gets planted. Some ninja jumping on the ladder will not be enough to save Magnus Boy. Nice grenade, and that's the round secured. No weapons taken away. As I say that though, we might have an AK stolen.
That was nice. I think Device had the reload and used that moment to jump down and get the kill. Using those sound cues.
So how many rounds can Envy string together now? They haven't really had a T side in any of their matches today yet. And again, we're just seeing the start of one in the second quadrant of this game. So let's see. The Astralis money still sucks, so Envy looked good for 4 rounds at the very least in their first half.
Well, there's an AK on device at least, so that should be fun to see what happens with that. Where are they going to take it? There's so many ways to play the solitary rifle. It's got Kevlar with it too. No flashbangs or anything like that, so it's going to have to be just headshots. Well, that's going to be a very good start for Envyus. The AK is now dead as well. I imagine it's towards Ali. And that is a wrap. I like it from Envyus, just very straightforward, just rushing in.
Yeah, he's happy to call it the setup. He made a really good play, getting those 2 kills. And as we saw, he kind of stopped running across the site. He just jumped up on the bomb site, cut off Z rotates, because he knows these are the last guys by Z that are outside. If anybody's hiding in here, I'm going to kill him. And my teammates can now cross and not have to worry about Z on their way. So he not only created space, but was smart enough to know when to stop. Wow. Fighting against aim punch.
That may have an impact in the rounds to come. Time will tell, but that will require success from Astralis. Even if they win a round, they do run the risk of being reset now by Envy, who have a lot of money thanks to those rounds. And Envy will take a tactical, Astralis will take a tactical timeout to discuss such things. Do they put an AWP on device? If they do, it will be Sam's armor. He does not have the cash.
Cash.
What is our best play? He can, I mean, Trade is a map where you can avoid grenades, and indeed, he will do that. The AWP is out.
They should flip up the mattress and search for the cash, James.
Very good, Dan, very good. So I would say we're unlikely to see upper B play with no Kevlar for device, but Ivy at the beginning can most certainly be done. He can dance around the trainers as per usual, looking into main, and Pop Dog. But beyond that, we may see him at the back of A for the most part. One player in main for Envy, and again they will have the initial round clearing out the back of B, where only Zipex can be found at the moment on the B bomb site. So Device will have a look towards Ivy, but once he sees somebody jump past, then he may have to take a more passive angle. There's the spot. Initial grenades, and oh, he blocks it with his person, but you got to be careful with that Molotov. Well, there we go. He's forced away indeed.
Eye for an eye, smoke for a smoke. Pre-holding position here, and it's just really obvious. It really seems like they're committed to go outside. They're just waiting for all the initial. They've like baited out the initial grenades, and now they're just waiting for them to go away, and they can make the push. But Device is repositioned, and Device says no. Dupree as well, holding down Pop Dog. The king of Pop Dog is Dupree, although the king now has been dethroned. But we'll have to see who can take the power back. His Device is still holding some pretty dirty angles. Does not get the finishing shot there, but he will be good for the second follow-up. And they're all dead. It was a very basic round from Envyus, but again, like this just goes to show like Astralis' setups and the way that they read the game, the way they move players around is just very strong. They have such a good outside defense.
Also, I think one thing is important. I feel like it happens a lot. You guys have probably already talked about it, but like the reason that you throw somebody the other side of Ivy, there's like a couple of reasons. One of those is just that you can throw your smoke for the left side of Ivy more easily off the wall safely.
Yeah.
And if you have a player on the other side, the Opper is threatened because he can no longer hold a flat angle on the guy on the left. He has to pick one side and hold the cross. So there's less angles that he can actually stand in safely to shoot from, which makes it easier for you who are trying to not get up and get to the top of Ivy. Kind of control the amount of angles, cut him in half actually, the amount of angles he can stand in.
Nice.
2 rounds remain in the first half. Yeah, good to go for round number 14. Again, Envy with another buy in the bag, and if things go south in this round, then they'll still have more fire to come in the last round, but what can happen now. Device has Kevlar with AWP this time, but it's Magic's boy to pick things off. Quickly on the upper train looking over, he smokes some Molotovs. 2 kills for him. Nobody able to answer him. Glaive spraying through the smoke. Doesn't know that the bomb's there as well though. Happy's lurking now, making a play through the flames, but Zipex will trade instantly. Massive round for Astralis, leaving Scream with 10 HP. He's running, and I presume he can be heard, or could have been heard by Zipex, who's moved across Ivy, so now they have a crossfire in that position. Cannot expect much here from Scream.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the really difficult parts about taking outside is just the like innumerable amount of CT spots that you can hold angles from, and that only becomes harder, especially if somebody decides to go top of a train right at the beginning of the round, like Magis did, where he was top red. He's exposed to T-Con the whole time, but he has like a okay angle, kind of 50-50 on T-Con, but if someone comes sandwiched, they don't clear that. So in that specific round, they're just screwed.
Doing his best to make the connection, but his impact will be minimal on that round. 10-4. Will it be only the 4 for Envy? Again, they've got the money for the most part. So let's see if they can get round number 5 on the board. Otherwise, they will be at the mercy of the pistol round.
Right. Can Envyus have an outrageous result with the guns that they carry? They are going to be taking them, ferrying them across to the B site. Zipex has the long-range angle. We'll get a spot on a couple players, and he's taking some attention too. They're going to be looking towards him, and then Device can peek, pull the trigger. Oh, that is very nice. Haji's head is gone.
Not only a 6 shot, but with 2 targets on the screen at the same time, and managing to do that is pretty crazy, as well as that grenade. That's quite significant damage, and that'll most certainly help the spray of Magic's boy through flashes and the smoke. Happy will be taken apart. Scream really wants this gun. 2 versus 4. They have time. There's no bomb plant pressure at this point, as all the CTs are here anyway. If they can thin these numbers out first. Astralis playing the waiting game now. Don't have eyes on the bomb, wondering if it's rotating, starting to move out of the B bomb site. Kirishima charging through, trying to do what he can, but he can't on this occasion. So Scream looking for the one-taps. They'll need 4 of them at the very least. There's the first one, Dupree picked off, but there won't be any more than that. 11-4 in favor of Astralis.
Very strong CT side, I think, as expected.
There was a moment there where Astralis thought they got bamboozled and hard rotated outside 3 people almost. But Envy were just trying to hold off so they could flash and push down. It's pretty much the half we expected.
Is it the half we deserved?
Depends. Did you want a long game or a short game?
I find it outrageous that you did, like, this guy doesn't think I'm hip-hop, James. Yeah, I'm dropping.
No. I know that you are hip-hop. I just said that you don't look hip-hop.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's profiling.
Nice. Why profiling? This is a show.
I've heard you listen to old school rap.
Okay.
I know you, Dan. Better than you know yourself.
Well,
You've got two-tone burgundy trousers on. Cannot say you look rap.
In fact, it looks like you're trying to hide it.
It's pretty. I'm changing the image.
You could argue the slingers like somehow rap. You know, he's got the bad boy.
It's badass.
Self-injury.
Doing drugs.
Changing the image. Needs someone to lead the way.
Can Envy change their fortunes, though? That is the question. All Kevlar for the seat. Well, all Kevlar for everyone. A decoy here, a decoy there. Astralis waiting for a curious push, perhaps. A double peek in the IV position. Ill-equipped with these Glocks versus the USPs. But they'll continue to duel. Kirishima picks up the first one. Scream shot down to 1 HP. And there's a headshot for Kirishima as well. So that may have a part to play in the outcome of this pistol round. But first we have some fights around the bomb train again. Still the USP at significant advantage until Astralis can close the distance. But will they have the numbers with which to close it? Device getting taken down makes it a 3 versus 5. Although 3 are quickly dispatched of again. 2 of them were already tagged from the IV position by Glaive. Now 2-on-2, RPK moving around the bomb train, but there's somebody around E-Box, it's Zipex. Pistol round often down to these headshots, crouch peek from Zipex, and there it is, 12-4, disaster strikes for Envy.
A French disaster. There's a tragedy, although one that I suppose is ultimately, again, expected. We sort of set it up in this way that Astralis are very strong right now. Train is a fantastic map for them, and Envyus didn't get things going on their T side, and it is their T sides on Train, which I often think are pretty good. So it's definitely does not bode well. Astralis, they have a hodgepodge of guns, a menagerie.
It was their T side that won them the E-League Major versus Virtus Pro. Big comeback on Train. That was the first time I think people looked at Glaive as like a god caller, the way that he was able to orchestrate such a fantastic comeback.
Yeah, they're switching things up to get aggressive. Key moments. Hello, Hanji with the CZ.
Oh, the fake's cancelled.
Hello there.
Oh, well, would you look at that?
See, that's a really good ladder trap, because in that position, that guy outside the train, he can't get shot from anywhere else. You know, so as long as you can get out to there and you can get the guy to fall out of ladder, even just for a second, you can just nail him. And I wish people would do that more on rifle rounds.
This pistol buy does not bode well for Envy at this point, I think it's fair to say. Two players in the IV position trying to get anything out of this. He will get something out of that boost, but will it ultimately amount to much? You will soon find out. Okay. Well, he's making a round out of this, but he's also running out of bullets. So some damage done, but we wait to see if Envy can capitalize on that in the future rounds. If they can win a round and maybe put Astralis on an earlier eco than you might expect, who knows. 13-4, and there's one more round to come before Envy can buy. This is somewhat brutal if you are a fan of the French.
I was really hoping to see like a longer Astralis T side where they're kind of pushed to their limits. The last time we saw them play Train, they just played really loose versus Fnatic, and I think that they knew that Fnatic were pretty tired from their flights and stuff, so they didn't bust out all the tools. But I just recently rewatched the demo of their game versus Virtus Pro to see how Glaive did it, and a lot of that stuff they didn't bother using.
There's a new team too. Magis. Do you feel like he's fitting in well?
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, I feel like if you don't notice, that's a good thing. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it does feel like that. And it's funny too, because I feel like a lot of pressure was put on him, and I wouldn't say it was undue pressure, but it felt like he was sort of propped up, put on a pedestal, raised up as this, you know, super talent, and it was perhaps too early for that.
It was because of his major qualifier run.
Yeah.
Those few games he had with MSL that was like, whoa, this guy is capable of amazing things. I mean, that's what I thought too, you know, like and after that he had kind of a downswing a little bit, but I always look to that and I think, whoa, that was versus tier 1 competition in a high stakes match, the highest of stakes for him, and I think, well, he's got what it takes. So I'm sure he thought about those games like, I want to always play at that level too, you know?
Yep, yep. Yeah, I think it's just like from a team, like the way that he fell into certain teams, it didn't seem like it sort of, like it gelled all that well with him, and we just saw sort of underperformances, a lot of them. But so far, as you say, like I feel like he's just part of the team here on Astralis, and you've got 5 just devastatingly good individuals playing really well as a team. So it's certainly working a treat on Astralis, and Astralis is definitely a very good team to play for. Haji with a timely peek will catch Device. Device has been undone. He's been disassembled.
Some legs giving Scream's position away before he can peek, and he walks straight into a bullet. So what do Envy read out of this? Do they think Astralis were set up for a play towards the A side? Because they're moving into B. I don't think Happy was spotted by the T's. Hanging around the oil position, a bit of grenades flying. So are the bullets. Zipex picked off. Debris looking for the flank, and that can renew their focus on the B bomb site itself. Glaive losing a duel there with Kiyoshima. Magic's boy seems to be waiting to jump down the ramp perhaps. Kiyoshima spraying through the smoke, and Magic's boy is waiting for somebody to touch that bomb, but does he peek before the smoke comes out? He does get a pop flash in there. Kiyoshima on the high ground, and things are getting awkward now. Both these teams in this position. Kiyoshima on the high ground will take Magic's boy down for free. Dupree rotating, but surely it is too late. Trying to maybe take them off the defuse with that smoke, but the pre-fire is there for Kiyoshima. Holding it down for Envy for round number 5.
I liked how they played the post plant a lot because they were both kind of upper B, but they found a new way to do it where Dupree just flashed over, so Magic could take a free peek as opposed to him just running down into his death to hopefully kill somebody before they to kill somebody else before he gets killed. Unfortunately, I mean, good for Envy though. They handled it well.
Dupree quickly in main. Sipex man over towards B. Magic's boy dueling with Haji and winning. Every kill for Astralis is potentially fatal for Envy on train here, as Astralis is so close to the victory. Some rotations on the CT side, putting a third man of 4 on the A site. Trying to identify what's going on. Glaive quickly into the pop dog, and there are flashes through the window as well. He's charging towards the bomb train. Screamer's got superior angle. Instant spray transfer from him. A flurry of kills from Envy. Leave it in a 3 versus 2. Device in main, but a bomb is in no man's land.
This is tough. It's been having a good game. That's a very important kill. Kiyoshima pushing the side of the smoke. Could cost Envyus dearly. We'll see. Almost available to Zipex for the taps. The flashbang comes in for the peak. Zipex ready for it though. He's in a really huge advantage there. That's another frag for Astralis, and now that 2v1 has them at quite a good position. They don't have smokes though to block the angle for Happy, so that does give a chance, a solid chance for Envyus here, as they will surely fall victim to the AWP. That's a great flick from Happy. That will be the sacrifice. Device has sacrificed himself for Zipex to get the bomb down and win the round.
He will make the cross just in time. Happy doesn't see anything, but soon he will realize what is up. Oh, the USP! If only the AWP was out. Such is life, and that is match point for Astralis. And look at the money for Envy. It is horrendous. That was a nice
execute outside. The reason they did the right side site smokes are like one of the benefits if they have ladder control, which they risk someone playing inside of it, but they do the initial, E-box sandwich smoke, and then they go light on T-con, and they put the right side bomb smokes and the Ivy smoke. So if they run out ladder down by the wall, they're safe from heaven. You can't see them.
Nice. I like it. I like safety. Safety is good. Device straight out there. His teammates ripping Envyus asunder. Limb from limb. They're being rendered limb from limb. Is that how you say it? You rend limb from limb.
Ripped?
Render? No, I don't think that's how it goes.
Rend.
16-5. Astralis Hulk smashing Envy on train, and perhaps there is more smashing and general beatings to be given out, because there's one more map between these two teams, which is going to be in Inferno. Again, it was a game that was more or less all Astralis from start to finish. The Envy rounds were few and far between.
Hello.
And replays.
Slideshow. I love slideshows.
Hashtag PaintShop Pro, not even Photoshop. Well, there we go. 16-5 in favor of Astralis. Zipex topping the leaderboard there with 26 kills. Good damage from him. Good average from the team. Team effort after all. Good coordination from Astralis as per usual. Again, a difficult map for Envy and co. And it's going to be Inferno. That's going to be the last map. Can things get any better for Envy?
I think Train would probably be a better map for Envy than Inferno would be. As for Astralis, they're really good. Their Inferno's really good right now too. But I want to say it's pretty cool that Happy had 180R, even though they only got 5 rounds. It's pretty impressive.
I suppose that is impressive. Well, it's Inferno. I mean, with a loss like that, for me there are no takeaways. But if you like numbers, then 100.